Hey,
Hello.
welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast. We're recording on something different.
Yes, we're
We
a
use,
little unsure.
yeah, we're doing something other than Zoom because Zoom hates us. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah, we've had way too many bad experiences with Zoom, so
Mm-hmm.
we are trying different things.
And when we say bad experiences, we mean like having to re-record entire episodes. So
Yeah.
pretty bad, pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's ghetto over here, but it's fine. We're
We
used
out
to
here
it.
doing our best.
We're doing our best. Uh,
Yeah. And that's all you can
so
really
how have you
ask of
been,
us.
Kelly?
I have been good. It was my last week of work. That was exciting.
Sounds fun.
I did a lot of training, and then I was supposed to be done with work on Friday, but my boss scheduled like an off-campus thing, and our new hire was like, I definitely cannot handle that by myself. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. So I
Yeah,
had to work one
fair.
extra day. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's great for you. Love that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I got a little bit of extra pay, so I don't mind.
Yes, and that is great because also this is our second year anniversary episode.
Is it already?
It is. This is the
Oh my
episode that
gosh, we're
will.
two.
We're two. Oh my gosh, we can
Oh
walk.
my gosh. We can walk.
Um, it's been a wild ride. So, I have made my top three episodes that we've recorded. My
Really?
first.
Okay.
These are in no particular order. No
Hmm.
particular order. These were just the top three.
Okay.
Leprechaun,
Oh my gosh.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Bring It On, All or Nothing. That's my top three.
Okay. All right.
and then
Those are good ones.
like special mention to Killer Sofa because that movie was just so ridiculous.
Oh my
So
gosh. That,
special honors to that movie.
yeah, a special shout out to Killer Sofa. For those of you
Yeah,
who haven't seen it or like heard the episode, I think you should.
you should. The audio quality is terrible, but
Yeah, it is.
it's
But
it's hilarious. A hilarious episode.
I'm gonna just mention
Like,
mine off the top of my head
okay,
for you.
okay,
No particular order, but Cool World.
of course. Back to basics.
Back to basics. That one was a wild ride to watch and then like talk about together because I felt like the more and more I talked about the movie, the more like unbelievable it sounded in my head.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
can still vividly remember watching that movie. Some of these other movies I
yeah.
like forget about. This one I
Hmm.
remember. I remember
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. There are some of these movies that they just stick with you.
Yeah, that's one. Cool World
Another
is one of
one.
them.
Another one. It's well, I'm gonna group this one. I'm just gonna say the Twilight series because that was a freaking marathon. I don't know what
Oh,
possessed us to do a
oh, that was a
Twilight
wild
week.
ride.
It was a very wild ride. I still
We would
cannot
never
watch
be
any
able
of
to
the
do that
Twilight
again.
movies. No,
We would never
no.
be able to do that again. This podcast would have to be a full time job, like paying us for us to be able to do that. Like the amount of time and effort it took.
Oh my god, yeah. I was literally watching one or two movies every day
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so we could get recordings done.
Just so we could get an episode up every day, and then I was editing so much.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot.
It was a
That was
lot.
a lot.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, let's not do that again. And I think the one that I hated recording the most was Ginger Dead Man 2.
Yeah, oh, absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
just gonna say that right now. Like that's the
That
one I
was by
hated the
far
most.
the worst movie we've ever done.
Yeah. I
And
I will
it
100%
was
agree.
so bad that we refused to do the rest of the series.
Yes.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I kind of don't even remember all that happened in there. I can remember flashes, and all of the flashes are terrible.
Yeah, it's I don't think any part of that was good or like even good like because it was bad and we laughed about it. Like it was just bad.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what we have. Go listen to those episodes because some of those episodes it was it was pretty tough to get through.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I have to say,
Okay.
since they don't know this, but we've been gone for 2 weeks. So a lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
Um, I watched a lot of movies, guys. I watched a lot of movies. I watched um the whole Matrix trilogy. I
Yes.
watched Romeo Must Die. Love that movie. Cradle to the
I don't think
Grave.
I've seen that.
Scooby Doo, and then
A classic.
the cream of the crop. No, I hated this movie. I
Uh-oh.
watched Pearl
Uh-oh.
Harbor, and it pissed me off.
Yes. You got to experience Pearl Harbor for the first time, guys.
Oh my gosh, that movie made me so upset. Oh my gosh, that movie made
Yeah.
me so upset.
Also, it's a very
So,
long movie.
uh, yeah. Um, so let me start off here. It starts off with Ben Affleck's character, who is not blind, but doesn't have good enough sight to be a pilot, and he like
Yeah.
has the nurse like fake his eye test so that he can be a pilot. Strike one. Um,
Strike one, yeah.
strike one. Strike two. My biggest strike. So there's
Hmm.
this couple, right? So the whole thing,
Hmm.
Ben Affleck and all his friends, and so he meets Kate Winslet's character, and
Hmm.
Kate Winslet has friends. And so he introduces all of his friends to her friends. And one couple gets together, this cute little blonde girl and this like kind of like ugly um guy. And so I was like, ooh, and they were like so sweet. And I was like, oh, I love
Yeah.
this couple until they
Until.
like they tried to sneak this in. They really tried to sneak it in because the girl mentioned that she lied about her age to become a nurse in the army. And I
Yep.
was like, um, okay, how old are you? But then they like just skipped it. And they just kept
Yeah.
going. And I was like, okay, weird.
That's how you know it's a red flag, by the
Red
way.
flag. And then so the girl and the guy she's dating get engaged, even though they've been with each other for like a month, 2 months, like not long. And I was like, oh,
Well,
I'm
one of
so
them is
happy for
in the
them.
service, so
Yeah, I was like, this is a military couple, of course. And so I was like,
yeah.
okay, they like good for them, cute, cute, cute. And then she went to like work the next day to like show off her ring to everyone. And then she said to her coworkers, "Yeah, we're gonna wait 2 years before I get married when I turn 19."
Oh,
I at that very moment I wanted to turn off the movie. I
jail.
wanted to turn off the movie. This man looked like he was 30 something years old. And she was
Yeah. He's old.
17.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And then like my mind like went back to the part where she was like, I lied about my age to get into the thing. And I was like, of course you did. You're a child.
Yep. Yep. You should not be in here.
I was so upset. I was so mad. I was like, how dare you make me root for this couple? Oh, I was pissed. And then what really set me off was so Ben Affleck went to go. So if you don't know anything about Pearl Harbor, before Pearl Harbor, there was like a war going on, and America was not in the war. And so
Hmm.
he wanted to be a part of the war. So he went to England so he could be a fighter pilot or whatever. And so he was like, "Wait for me, Kate Winslet," and she was going to Hawaii to be stationed with like all of her friends and all of his friends. And so he like told his best friend bye, played by Josh Hartnett. Watch our
Mhm.
episode on The Faculty. He's in that movie.
Yes. Yes.
um, and so they're like, cool, 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 cool. So Ben Affleck's character goes to England. He's writing back and forth with Kate Winslet's character, all lovey dovey, all great. So one day his plane gets shot down and they don't find his body, so they just presume he's dead. And so word gets back to Kate Winslet and everybody else in Hawaii. And so Kate Winslet's all sad and stuff. If, oh, I think it was 3 months later. I think it was 3 months later. I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but it was either way, it was a short amount of time. 3 months later, tell me why Kate Winslet's character starts banging Ben Affleck's best friend.
Yeah.
I really wanted to turn the
Yeah.
movie up, but I was so close to it being over. I was like, I might as well finish. It made me so upset. It made me so upset. And so turns out Ben Affleck's not dead. He
Yep,
he
he's not.
he he's not dead. So he comes back to life, you know, comes back to life. He was never dead. Comes to Hawaii, finds out his best friend's been hooking up with his girlfriend,
Mhm.
and then she's like, "Who do I pick?" Then
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor happens. Tragedy, awful.
Awful.
Great cinematography, and that scene. The rest of the movie, trash. But the like Pearl Harbor attack, great cinematography, great.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
beautiful in a
beautiful
horrible way.
in a horrible way. So that happens, and then so Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett's character get recruited to be like fighter pilots, and like I guess they're like building
Mhm.
up the Navy now. I don't know because they were working
Who
on naval
knows?
ships. I don't know about the armed forces. And right
Me neither.
before they leave, Kate Winslet, Beckinsale, sorry, it's Kate
Yep.
Beckinsale. It's not Kate Winslet.
You've
Kate
been saying
Beckinsale's
Winslet for
character.
a very long time.
I know. I just caught it. And so she's like, um, "Yeah, I love you, but I'm pregnant with Josh's baby, so I'm
Mm,
gonna stay with Josh." Oh,
yeah.
and Josh doesn't know. I haven't told
No.
him yet. And so Ben has to keep this secret. And so him and Josh go over. They attack Japan or something. I literally don't remember. I was so out of the movie at this point. I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, long story short, Josh's character dies.
Yes.
But before he dies, Ben's like, "You can't die. You have a baby." And then Josh is like, "Nope, you have a baby." I I could not. I literally
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I was like, "What are you talking? I'm not raising your baby for you. You stole
Right.
my
Right.
girlfriend."
Right. You slept with my girlfriend, bro. No.
After 3 months, like I would get if it had been like a year,
Yeah.
even like
But
let's say 10
it was too
months.
short.
It was 3 months. Awful.
Yeah.
And so, long story
Awful.
short, Ben Affleck ends up taking care of Josh's baby, and that's how the movie ends.
Yep.
I was livid, so upset. Also, most of that movie didn't even have anything to do with Pearl Harbor.
No. Pearl
Pearl
Harbor
Harbor,
happens, but it's
yes,
not what the movie's about.
it's not what the movie's about at all.
It's not. It's about the relationship, really.
I feel like they just
They should
set
have called it
this.
something else.
I feel like they just set this movie in Pearl Harbor and named it Pearl Harbor so that they could get like Oscar nominations. Because other than like the 20 minutes of Pearl Harbor actually happening, nothing about this
Yeah.
movie has anything to do with Pearl Harbor.
No.
Also, Josh Hartnett should never do a southern accent ever again in his life. But yeah, that's
Or he
all I
needs
have
a
to
better
say about.
dialect coach.
Yeah, he needs something. We need something else. I can't. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about for right now because I've been talking for like 10 minutes about. I literally just went through the
He's
entire
very
plot
passionate about Pearl
of
Harbor.
Pearl Harbor. Oh yeah, if I hate a movie, I hate a movie. Like I
Oh
hate a
yeah,
movie. Like I
100%.
hate I hate that McDonald's movie. What's the name of that movie? I
Oh
literally I
yeah,
almost watched
I
it
know what you're talking
instead of
about.
Pearl Harbor. But I was like, I know this movie makes me upset, so I like texted people and I was like, should I watch this movie? And everybody was like, no, don't watch anything that's gonna make you upset. What is it called? It had
Oh
now I'm gonna have
yeah,
to
I don't
look it up.
remember.
I'm gonna be so upset
Do
if
you
I
not know what it's
literally
called?
can't find The Founder. There we go. I found
Yeah,
it.
I was like, bro, why is it taking you so long?
Found it. Yeah, that movie made me very upset. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes movies make me very upset. Sorry. I get very invested in my movies. Last movie I watched, Melancholia. Very good. The opening sequence was a squidge too long.
Yeah,
A squidge too long. But the movie overall was great. Great visuals, great acting. Kristen Dunst wears her Oscar. Who knows? But overall, enjoyed the movie. But that's it for me. Let me stop. Let me stop talking. Let's start talking about the reason we're here. Let's talk about the Emperor's New Groove.
awesome. Okay, you want to start with the dialogue, or you want me to start with the dialogue?
Uh, You can start with the dialogue. We will be
Uh-huh.
going word for word. She will be Cusco. I will be Pacha, and then she will be Yzma. I will be Kronk.
I will also be
What's
playing Chicha,
I
and we will be splitting the
Chicha?
kids evenly.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
For those of you who don't
We're
know,
prepared.
Jordan loves this movie.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
this movie so much. Like the amount of times I watched this movie as a child, it's probably borderline
Obsessive?
um
Mm,
obsessive. Um, I may have
mm,
needed therapy.
maybe we all do. Mm.
Who knows? I do feel like the entire
Yeah.
world needs therapy.
Yeah. None of us are
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm just gonna tell you right now, my notes are like six, six bullet points, and they're each a sentence
Really?
each.
Okay. Tell
Yeah,
me when your bullets come up.
and none of them. Oh, my first one is Cusco by the theme song guy is a
Oh, I
bop.
knew it.
Like
I
that's my
knew
first one.
that. I knew that you were gonna do that. Okay,
What's his name?
let me start it so we can get to the theme song guy. So we start this movie with a very dramatic opening, showing a lone llama in the jungle crying, which relatable. And we find out that this llama is actually a human. He's the Emperor Cusco, who believes his life was ruined, even though he's such a great guy. Exactly.
Exactly.
So we watch as human Cusco goes.
Exactly. He is a great guy. He
He
did
did
nothing
nothing
wrong.
wrong, of course.
He did nothing wrong. He's an innocent baby child.
Yes. Um, go he we see Cusco going through his emperor's duty in his palace, and we see his very lavish life. And this is where the theme song
Mhm.
guy comes in.
Yes, because there are despots and dictators, political manipulators. There are blue bloods, but the intellects of fleas. Hey, hey, hey! I love this song so much. If it was like on
it would it would be
Spotify
on a
or Apple
playlist.
Music or whatever, it would be on. It would be
Hmm.
on several playlists.
It's the only song
I
that's really played in this
love
movie,
this
and it's a certified bop.
certified Bob, Grammy worthy. Yeah.
um, After all of this, we see that Cusco has showed up to pick a bride, and they all share the same face. It's literally just the haircut that's different. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, he is not impressed with any of them. And
Not at all.
we then see the people who have quote unquote ruined his life. First is Pacha, who has come to see Cusco because he has been summoned. And The other two are
Yes.
Yzma, the Emperor's advisor, and her right hand man, Kronk. Yzma,
Kronk. Yes, another baby child who has
yeah,
never
angel
done anything
baby.
wrong.
We stand at him
Angel
though.
baby. That's my son. Don't talk about my son.
If anything happens to Kronk, I will kill me and then everybody in this room. Everyone in this room and then
I'll
myself.
kill I'll kill everyone in this room and then
Yes.
myself. Don't get it twisted.
So any Kronk slander will be deleted. Okay? You will be dealt with.
It's not
Not
acceptable.
acceptable.
Yeah, you will be dealt with.
So Yzma has been trying to run the empire her way without Cusco ever knowing about what she's doing. And he's there to stop it. And he fires her,
Mm-hmm.
which is fair. Is
Yeah,
very fair. He should.
he should. Yes, she is
Mm-hmm.
overreaching. That man was asking for
Yes.
food, and she was like, "You're a
Yeah.
peasant. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Very classist.
You should have
Yeah,
been
very
born
classist.
rich. Step your
Right.
step your money
Get your
up."
bag, my man. Like, this is a you problem.
Yeah,
And I think she's way too old for her position anyway. She is.
she is.
Um,
But if you ask Cusco, she's been too old for the last 100 years.
yeah,
But
which is
it's
probably
heavily
fair. We
implied
never
that
know
she
how
lived
old
with
she is, by the
dinosaurs.
way. We, yeah, and she kind of looks it. So Yzma is upset about being fired, and she has to be removed as Pacha comes in to see Cusco. Cusco says he has a problem and that Pacha is there to help him with it. And his problem being that his village is in the way of his
That
Cusco
was
Cropolis.
Cuscotopia.
Basically,
I
like
thought it was
a water
Cuscotopia.
park for himself.
Come on,
Oh,
Kelley.
yeah,
You're
Cuscotopia.
slipping.
Well, he calls it a Cusco Cropolis
He calls
at
it
first, and then it
Cuscotopia,
changes
complete
to
with water
Topia
slide.
later.
Come on, Kelley.
I shouldn't be questioning you on this.
You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
um, I really should not. But Pacha is very confused and is at a loss for words about all of this and gets upset at Cusco's attitude about just getting rid of his family home that he's been in for generations and the rest of the village. And he is sent away from the palace. We then see Yzma letting off steam by crushing Cusco head statues with Kronk and comes up with a plan that if she gets rid of Cusco, she can be the real emperor that she
Yeah,
wants to
because
be.
there's apparently no one else in line.
Her and Kronk then
There's no one. There's no one else in line to the throne.
yeah, from what she says.
Cusco's parents are
Yeah.
gone, and we never find out where they are.
Dead.
Uh, they could be dead. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. We never find out.
Yeah, we don't know.
And then he seemingly has no uncles, aunts, cousins. He, what we learned from the hit TV
I
show
know.
Cusco's New School, he's underage. He's a child.
Um he turned 18, I thought. In the
He's,
movie don't they say
he
he's
does
18?
turn 18, but he's 17. So he obviously does not have any
Yeah.
children. So there's no one in his life
Yeah.
that could take this throne. So if he did just die one day, what would happen? Chaos.
Chaos.
They're just like,
I'll
they do a
run for the
lottery.
throne.
Everyone pick a number between 1 to 10, and then we'll just dwindle it down each cycle.
This is the
Yeah.
fairest we can make it. So, anyway, her and Kronk then go down to their secret lab and come up with a plan to poison Cusco at dinner later. Later that night, Kronk has made a beautiful dinner and dessert.
Complete with spinach puffs.
And complete with spinach puffs. And Yzma plans to poison a drink for Cusco to kill him when he arrives. When Cusco gets there, Kronk fumbles, giving him the drink multiple times because his spinach puffs were going to burn. And when he comes back to give him the drink, he forgets which one is which. So he mixes them all together and makes sure to tell Yzma that to
Hmm.
not drink it.
Honestly, him mixing them all together
And
was the best thing he could have did. Because what if he was? Because what if he
honestly,
was like,
yeah,
"Here you go, Emperor Cusco." He's like, "No, I don't want that one. I want yours." And now you're screwed.
right.
Yeah, poison all of it.
Just poison all of it. Yeah,
Pull
because then
pull
you
a
have to drink. Yeah, because
pull a
then you have to
President
make some
Snow.
lame excuse.
Just be like, no,
Yes,
there's no poison in here as you're coughing up blood.
exactly. Like I wasn't planning on killing
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean this happens to me
Yeah,
all the time. I love coughing up
it's
blood.
so great.
So great. So Yzma makes a toast to Cusco and he drinks the poison and
Yeah,
immediately dies, but
yes.
rises again and starts to transform
Yeah,
into a llama. And Kronk is
for a
forced
quick
to
second, he
knock him
was in
out.
his Jesus era. He was like, you thought,
He really was. Yeah. It's like,
actually.
actually. It takes more than that to
It
kill a
takes
bad
more than that to kill a bad bitch.
bitch. Yzma is shocked at the transformation and finds out that the vial isn't poison but extract of llama. Which, what does that even mean?
Well, we later learned she has poison, not poison, she has like potions that can turn you to seemingly any animal.
That is true.
Why? Who knows?
Yeah,
And when
no
did she have
idea.
time to do all of this?
Just for her
When did
own.
she have time to make all these
Right. I thought
potions?
she was
Cusco does not seem like the
maybe like in the
Cusco
middle
does
of the
not seem
night.
like the type of person that would just give you free time.
Yeah,
He seems like the
no.
type of person that would have you on your
No.
feet all day, like your feet are bleeding. He does not care. Keep
Mm-hmm.
moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. I mean,
just me.
he also seems like a control freak,
Hmm.
so he'd have his hand in everything.
You'd be like, what are these new building permits? Who's building something underneath my castle? Like, what's going on?
Right. Like I need to know what's
Who
happening all the
approved this
time.
roller coaster? What's going on?
Where did these trampolines come
Where did these
from?
trampolines come from?
Who is spending the budget money like this? Who do I need to speak with?
Who spent all this money flushing the canal? Who spent all this money flushing the canal? Now we have to refill it. Who's going to pay for that? Not me.
Right. And where is that water
Yeah,
coming from?
where's that water coming from? We've had a dry season. Where's that water coming from?
um anyway, Yzma then tells Kronk to take out the body and kill him.
Yeah.
Kronk then makes a whole show of taking the body to the river that's in town and tossing Cusco, who is in the bag, into it. But when he notices the huge waterfall, rethinks it with his little shoulder angel and devil,
Hmm.
and eventually grabs the bag out before it can fall.
Yes.
Kronk then seeks the body into town and accidentally drops the bag onto Pacha's cart as he's leaving town. And when Kronk goes to get it back, loses him in the crowd.
Yes.
Yes. Pacha is worried about his village as he makes it back to his house, and his family meets him there. The kids go to bed, and Chicha asks how his meeting went, and he lies, saying that the Emperor couldn't see him because he's so busy. Which makes her upset and has to go clean something and to like calm down because she's pregnant.
She's a pregnant queen, so don't
Yes, she is.
not too much stress on her.
Mm-mm.
I've never understood people who,
Mm-mm.
when they get stressed, they want to clean. Never understood that. But you know what?
Me neither.
Chicha can do what she wants.
She can. Also, whatever works for you,
She
Queen.
has 2.5 children. She can do what she wants.
Yeah. She's a wife to the village leader,
Yeah.
you know.
She has him
She can
wrapped
she can
around
do what she
her
wants.
finger. She can do what she wants.
Mm-hmm. I want to be her one day. So Pacha is looking over his home and goes to put away his llama to hide his sadness from Chicha. And when he goes to empty his cart, finds a bag on his cart that is moving. And when he opens it, Cusco wakes up and freaks out.
Yeah.
Cusco recognizes Pacha, and he has to break the news to him that he has turned himself into a llama, or that he has been turned into a llama.
Yeah.
Cusco doesn't remember what happened, and when he recounts what he does, thinks Pacha turned him into a llama to get back at him for wanting to destroy his village. Which would be fair.
Would be fair. A fair assumption.
Yeah.
But that's giving a lot of credit to Pacha.
Yeah,
Because a lot would
yeah.
have had to happen for Pacha to turn him into a into a llama.
A llama.
Like a lot would
Yeah.
have had to happen.
Where does he think? Where does this man think he's getting all this stuff to turn him into a llama?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
Cusco then comes up with a plan to get back to the palace and get Yzma to change him back because he knows about her little secret lab. Why he didn't obviously think it was her, I don't know. And he
Yeah.
demands Pacha to take him back. Pacha refuses, but comes up with a bargain, telling Cusco that if he builds his summer house somewhere else, he'll take him back to the palace. Cusco says he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
barter with peasants, so he goes into the jungle alone, despite Pacha's warning to him, and he lets him go anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the jungle, Cusco thinks he can handle it by himself, but after a little bit starts to get scared. A squirrel then
Yeah.
offers him a nut, and he refuses and tells him to back off when he gets himself landed in a jaguar nest. The squirrel then gets revenge and sets the jaguars off on him by popping a balloon to wake them up. He then hits a dead end, and Pacha has come to his
But funny
rescue.
enough, that doesn't even wake up.
Yeah, that doesn't even wake him up. It's Cusco when he starts yelling.
Doesn't even wake them up.
Mm-mm.
Cusco wakes them up when he's like he goes ha because it did wake them up and that
Yeah.
wakes them up.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So Pacha comes swinging in and eventually gets Cusco like in his arms. But they end up tied up to a what I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
call it a branch, but it is a branch, right?
A very thick branch.
Yeah,
A
a
very thick
very
branch.
thick branch.
Like a tree sized, like a tree sized branch. Very big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was a little confused about calling it a branch or not. But they are wrapped up on this
Yeah,
branch
but
that
technically it
breaks.
is a branch.
Yes. And they fall into a river that where does it lead, Jordan?
Uh, waterfall, sharp rocks at the bottom. Bring it on.
Yes. A very huge waterfall. So they fall
A
into the water
very huge
below.
waterfall.
Very huge waterfall. And Cusco isn't breathing. So Pacha hauls him onto land and goes to give him mouth to mouth when Cusco wakes up. Cusco is ungrateful about being saved because he thinks Pacha was trying to come on to him. And he still
Mm-hmm.
tells Pacha that he's going to build his summer house where the village is. And Pacha tries to build a fire and change his mind about it.
Yeah.
Neither of them are able to get through to one another, so Cusco goes to
Um,
sleep away from what?
I just want to say for
Yes.
Pacha,
Uh-huh.
I would have let Cusco die. I would have let Cusco die. So
How
Pacha
so?
is a better man than me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have let him die, but if he the thing that made me upset was when he's trying to put the fire on and he keeps putting it out. That's where I would have gotten upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have been like, okay, I'm going home. Can't do this
Yeah.
anymore.
Mm-mm. Like you were sabotaging me deliberately now. So good luck.
Yeah. In fact, you're sabotaging yourself because that fire is meant to keep you warm as well.
Exactly. Exactly. But Pacha is a better man than both of us. And when he sees that
Mm-hmm.
Cusco is cold while he's sleeping. He gives him his poncho to keep warm. And Cusco's like, oh, maybe I am messing this up.
Yeah.
Back at the palace, Yzma is leading a funeral for Cusco. And the second it's over, immediately gets to work on revamping the palace for her new rule. Yzma then mentions Cusco's death, and after Kronk makes a comment that worries her, she finds out that Cusco isn't really dead. And her and Kronk set out to find him to actually make sure that he dies.
Yep. Murder trip.
Murder trip. Get in the car. We're going on a murder spree.
Murder trip. We're
At
going on
Pacha's
a
house.
trip on our
In
favorite
our
murder
favorite
trip.
rocket. Oh. Zooming through the jungle. Murder a llama.
Little Einsteins.
Remix. At Podge's house, his kids both have a nightmare about their father that basically says what they've been through to Chicha because she goes and checks on them.
Yeah.
But Chicha says that he's fine and that he's going back to see the Emperor. Are these kids like psychic or something?
Psychics? Yes, they're
Yeah.
psychics.
Yeah.
They're
Do they know
psychics.
some? Do they know something we don't?
Most definitely do.
And I love that it was both of them about one specific part, and then the other one knew the rest of the story.
Yeah, it's very. What's that movie we watched with the psychic triplets? What movie was it? Minority Report. It's very Minority Report.
Yes, it is very Minority Report. Like you need both of them to be able to see the full picture.
Mm-hmm. The full
So the
picture. You
next
need both.
morning, yeah, you need both for the full picture. The next morning, Pacha and Cusco awkwardly come to a compromise where Cusco will change the summer house location for Pacha's help, and they both shake on it. They are then an hour out from the palace when Pacha falls off of the bridge that connects the two lands together and is hanging by vines, and Cusco leaves him there to hang, breaking his promise because technically he's like, I don't have hands, so whatever we agreed upon doesn't matter.
The shake doesn't count. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the shake does not count because
Also,
technically I'm not
someone
human.
needs to come look at that bridge. Someone needs to come look at
Yeah,
that bridge because
that's been on its
yikes.
last legs for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Cusco eventually drops as well, and he's also hanging by some vines. They continue to argue about their situation and fight until the bridge breaks and they fall and get stuck in a crevice that's above alligator infested water. I hope they're alligators. I don't know anything about reptiles.
Does not matter.
Does not matter. They then work together to climb up and grab the rope from the bridge, which releases scorpions on both of them. Cusco gets his face stuck in a crevice, which releases bats.
Really fine.
It's really fun. And they somehow end up back on the ledge above. I don't. Is it the rope that gets them up?
Yep.
Okay.
I
It's
guess
been a
it's the
while.
rope.
Um, and now they are safe. But Pacha's like part of the ledge breaks out from under him, and Cusco saves him. And then afterwards realizes that maybe he isn't as heartless as he seems. And Pacha still agrees to take him to the palace, which, Pacha, you are amazing. You're still helping this man.
King.
Kronk and Yzma have been searching the jungle for Cusco with no luck, and she has had it with the jungle. But Kronk is living his life with his new
And the
squirrel
jungle
friend.
has had it with her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he communicates with his new squirrel friend, who mentions having an interesting interaction with a llama. And I love how Yzma immediately thinks that it's Cusco and not just a random llama. Because it's a
It
squirrel.
could have been any llama.
Yeah, it's a squirrel, guys. Y'all really taking his word as gospel right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yzma then gets Kronk to ask what happened, and when they get the information, go off looking for Cusco. Pacha and Kronk then make it to a diner. Yes, a diner in a jungle. And have to pretend to be newlyweds to get around the fact that the place has a no llama policy. They order some food, and when it is delivered, Cusco is absolutely disgusted, which, fair.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah,
Who
that's a
wouldn't be?
literal.
It looks so disgusting.
It's a huge bug with some kind of yellow goo in it that you slurp.
Yeah.
You don't spoon it, you slurp.
That you slurp through a straw.
Yeah, and then eat the outside bug shell. No thanks.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
How these people haven't like rioted and destroyed the palace, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
I don't.
Cusco's up in the palace eating fruits and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
and they're eating bugs.
But I mean, also,
Yikes.
Pacha's from a growing village. Like they grow the food for the other villages, and I guess because that's what he says at the beginning. So shouldn't this man know finer cuisine if he's able to grow his own food?
He should.
He should,
He really
because
should.
my man is out here eating bug guts and the outer of a bug. No thanks.
Yeah. Down bad.
Down horrendous. So Cusco goes to the back to have a word with the chef when Yzma and Kronk show up and he overhears their conversation. Pacha freaks out and tries to get Cusco out of the restaurant after creating a diversion to get him out because Kronk ends up as the chef and Cusco and Yzma go about like ordering food. Somehow never running into one
Yeah.
another.
Yep.
Once that
It turns from them wanting very complicated orders to just being like, just give us a salad.
Yeah, at
I
that,
just
that
take a salad.
point. Pacha then tells Cusco about Yzma and Kronk coming to kill him, but he doesn't believe him, thinking he's being selfish about saving his village, and goes after Yzma and Kronk. When he catches up with them, he finds that Pacha was telling the truth, and when he goes back to Pacha, finds that he is gone. Cusco then walks the rest of the day and leaves Pacha's clothes and sulks in the rain in the jungle, where we see him at the beginning. At Kronk and Yzma's camp, Kronk wakes up from a deep sleep, remembering Pacha from the diner is the guy that he left Cusco's body on. And he wakes up Yzma
How did
with the
he know that?
news. I don't
Did
think
he
he
ever
ever.
see Pacha's face?
He saw the back of Pacha's head, I thought, no?
Yeah, I don't think he ever saw his face.
Yeah, so how would he know? Also,
He has X-ray vision.
he saw Pacha with his hat and poncho on, and when he saw Pacha at the diner,
Yeah,
he just had his white shirt on.
he didn't have it. Mm-hmm.
The plot ain't plotting.
Plot 8, plot.
Cusco then ends up at a field with other llamas and tries to blend in with them when he hears Pacha telling the other llamas in the field about his and Cusco's adventure. How did Pacha find him?
Who knows?
Anyway, Cusco apologizes and Pacha still agrees to take him back to the palace. They rush back to Pacha's village
But
for
they go
supplies.
to Pacha's house first.
I know.
Like, why'd they go back?
I don't
They
know.
went backwards.
They said that they needed supplies, but like, for what? Y'all barely had
Weren't
supplies
you
when you left
almost
anyway.
there?
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. But on the way to Pacha's village, Pacha's house, one of the villagers stops Pacha and tells him that his relatives, who are actually Kronk and Yzma, are up at his house. Chicha is very irritated with Yzma and Kronk and tries to send them away, but Yzma and Kronk come up with their own plan to search the house for Pacha and Cusco. Pacha shows up and explains to Chicha what is happening, and she says that she will buy them some time as they run to the palace. Chicha and the kids then lock Kronk and Yzma in a closet and set up a bunch of different, like, Kevin from Home Alone inspired traps. But Yzma still notices Cusco and Pacha's footsteps, and they race to find them. So it then
Yes.
then Kronk and Yzma and Pacha and Cusco race each other on their way to the palace. Pacha and Cusco get to the palace first, and they go into the lab. And when they go to get the human vial, finds that it's empty, and it's in Yzma's hands. Somehow, Yzma and Kronk have made it there before them.
Yes, because somehow they made it there before them, and they didn't want to explain how they did it, so they just made it a joke in the movie, and I thought that was so funny.
I have a movie fact for you about that, actually.
Cool. Can't wait to hear it.
So, Yzma then gives Kronk the order to kill Pacha and Cusco. Kronk is conflicted with the order, and the angel and demon show up again to help. And it turns out Kronk is just talking to himself the whole time. It's not actually happening in his head.
Yeah.
And when Yzma insults him, the angel and the demon help Kronk turn on her by dropping a chandelier on her, but she's just skinny enough to fit right through the center of it.
Yeah, so he wasn't gonna kill
But he was
Cusco
gonna
and
kill Yzma
Pacha, but he was willing to kill Yzma.
over spin
But also,
cups.
I would have wanted to. Yeah, I would have wanted to kill her too,
Yeah.
because she was like, "You're like a big dumb monkey named Kronk." I also would have wanted to kill her.
Yeah. You call me a monkey, you are going to die. That's just how it
We're
is.
gonna have to fight.
Yeah. You're gonna have to fight.
I'll go Travis the chimp on you. Wow, that was kind of insensitive. Never mind.
Jordan. Jordan. Please.
I'm sorry. I might cut that out.
Oh my goodness. So Yzma sends Kronk away through another trap door. How many trap doors does she have in this lab, by the way?
So many.
And the other three fight for the vial. But Yzma makes it harder when she accidentally pours over the other vials and calls the guards on Pacha and Cusco. Pacha then takes all of the vials and turns the guards into various animals with the other vials lying around. Cusco and Pacha are on the run, and they each try the vials. They have to see which one will turn him into a human. At one point, they run out of options and end up with two left when Yzma gets in the mix and turns into a kitten as Pacha ends up hanging on the edge for his life on one of the like pop-out things on the outside of the palace. Yzma ends up with the human vial, but struggles to open it and accidentally throws it and herself off of the edge. Cusco goes to save the human vial, but at the last second lets it go to go save Pacha. Yzma gets saved by a trampoline on the ground floor and ends up with the vial in her hands before she is squished by one of the palace decorations and lets go of the vial. Pacha and Kronk then work together to get the vial when Yzma catches it, but is squished by a freed Kronk who comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just opens a window. He's like, "How did I get out here?"
Pacha then gives Cusco the vial and he drinks it. I'm guessing the next day, Cusco is back to being a
Maybe.
human, maybe.
Maybe.
And somehow everyone is okay with him coming back from the quote unquote dead. Um,
Yeah.
and we see him apologizing to.
But I mean, I guess it's not that hard because his body was never there.
Yeah, that
So
is also true. Um, and he is apologizing to the old man who threw off his groove from earlier in the movie. He then notices Pacha in his meeting room and tells him that he's going to move his summer home from where his house is currently. And Pacha gives him the option of using the hill next to his house instead. So the pool house is built.
was there someone living there?
Who knows? But they're not now.
Who knows?
The pool.
It's not Pacha's
It's
family.
not Pacha's family, so Pacha doesn't care.
It's not Pacha. Pacha doesn't care.
The pool house is built, and Cusco and Pacha's family are now like super good friends. And Kronk has become a squirrel ranger and teaches the other kids and
Squeak squeakin', squeak squeakity.
yes. And teaches a still kitten Yzma the squirrel language, and that is where the movie ends.
Yeah.
I love that he like still keeps Yzma in his life. Like, bro, she tried to kill you.
He is an angel. He wants everyone to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for some movie facts?
Yes, I am.
So, first one. Pacha's wife, Chicha, is obviously pregnant, but she is, according to the DVD commentary, the first Disney animated feature to show a pregnant woman and one of the first human mothers not to be villainized or killed in a Disney movie.
Like I said, queen.
Right? She deserves the world and more. I'm just saying right now.
Yes. Give her her due.
Yes.
Gosh. Okay.
My second movie fact is in the scene where Pacha is carrying Cusco through the jungle. Pacha and Cusco discuss Cusco having low blood sugar. And this is an inside joke about the fact that David Spade, who plays Cusco, is diabetic in real life.
Cool.
Here's the movie fact about Yzma and Kronk getting back to the palace before Pacha and Cusco. So, apparently it wasn't animated that Yzma and Kronk getting back to the palace. And they created the scene where Yzma and Kronk beat Pacha and Cusco to the secret lab. And they say that they are literally falling into a plot hole because they never animated it. And so this is explained when Kronk pulls the map down and admits, by all accounts, it doesn't make any sense.
Hilarious.
Hey, you make a mistake, you joke about it. It's fine.
Yeah, I like that they made a joke of it.
Right. And this is the longest movie fact I'm ever going to tell you.
Great.
And so this movie was originally planned to have been a dramatic Disney musical named Kingdom of the Sun, to be directed by the people who made The Lion King, Roger Allers and Mark Dindal. Oh, well, and Turner's Cats Don't Dance director, Mark Dindal. With 6 original songs written by Sting. You know who that is?
Yeah, didn't he sing the song at the end of the
movie? Yes.
Okay.
And it was essentially a Incan retelling of Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper.
Don't know that story.
I'll explain it like real quick in this. So The Prince and the Pauper It's basically where these two people switch lives so that they like the prince can run away from his duties and the pauper can like experience like a higher life.
Oh, they made fun of this on Futurama.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So
know what you're talking
David Spade
about.
was going to play the young emperor Monko, while Owen Wilson was Pacha, a young peasant with a
Okay.
striking resemblance to the emperor, and Eartha Kitt was Yzma, the aged royal sorceress.
Love love that they were like, we have to keep Eartha
Yes, yes.
Kitt.
So the movie involved Monko and Pacha switching places, except that Yzma finds out, turns Monko into a non-talking llama, and makes Pacha do her bidding. Pacha was supposed to fall in love with Nina, the emperor's betrothed, while Monko falls in love with a female llama herder named Mata. And they team up to stop Yzma's evil plans, save the country from darkness, and end up falling in love with each other as the journey goes.
Okay, there's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
there's a lot going on.
Whoa,
Um,
there's too much happening at
yeah,
once.
yeah. So they screen tested it and it went very poorly. So the production,
As I,
as you just
yeah,
stated,
yeah, I, yeah.
um, and the production was suspended even though 50% of the movie was complete. Yeah,
Yikes.
so the story was then rebuilt from the ground up, retaining David Spade and Eartha Kitt's characters, and creating a new, wackier movie that centered around Spade's llama, Yzma, and two new characters, Pacha, now a middle aged man played by John Goodman, and Kronk.
Well, it was a change for the
It
better,
really
so
was.
that's all that
Because I
matters.
don't think I would have watched Kingdom of the Sun if it was the original movie.
No,
Yeah,
no.
absolutely not.
There was too much happening,
Yeah.
and also that that plot is like a mixture of like a couple of different Disney movies.
Yeah, to be
Like
fair.
it's like a mixture. It's like a mixture of like Mulan, Princess and the Frog, Cinderella. Like it's a mixture of way too like there's
Yeah,
too
there's
many
too much
stories
going
going
on,
on.
yeah. There's way too much going on. I mean, I'm glad that like it turned out right, but geez.
Yeah, sorry, Owen Wilson.
Yeah, sorry.
Love you, but sorry.
Also, how weird would Owen Wilson be as Pacha?
Very weird.
Yeah. So, what are your I'm oops, it's been a while since we've done this. Question: iconic or not?
Mm-hmm. Of course, this movie is
Yes, it
iconic.
is.
If you say
You're
otherwise,
wrong.
you cannot be
Yeah.
trusted. This movie is perfect. Sorry, but it is.
Yep. It's a great movie.
I know this movie backwards and forwards. Um, this movie raised me quite literally. So don't speak ill of this
Yeah,
movie,
because
or I
Jordan.
will fight you.
Yeah, Jordan will find you, and he'll make you pay.
I'll make you pay.
Yeah, yeah. It's a awesome movie. I'm sad that like there's not more things about with this movie at Disneyland and stuff like that. But you know,
Yeah, why do we not have an Yzma roller coaster?
did you hear that?
Where
That that like idea people are having right now about turning what Thunder Mountain into a Emperor's New Groove inspired ride.
in theory that would be great, but it wouldn't fit in Frontierland.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said. They'd have to change the whole land.
They'd have to change the entire land, which honestly we can.
Yeah, we can. We
I
actually
don't really like
can.
westerns that
Yeah,
much. We
Frontierland
can
is
change it to something else.
Frontierland's okay.
Frontierland is like where I go to get a corn dog or ride Big Thunder, and like
And
that's
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
That's all I do.
Yeah. You get.
Or if I'm walking to Galaxy's Edge,
Yep.
like
You
that's
walk
it. Like
through
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
really. Oh, oh, that's not true. It has one of my favorite restaurants. Sorry, that little Mexican restaurant that's right next to
Oh.
Big
Yeah. Yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind. But we could keep
We
that a
could.
Mexican
We
restaurant.
could.
We just change it to something else. I don't know what the theme of that land would be if we were putting in Emperor's New Groove, but
Yeah.
someone someone highly paid and smarter than me could figure that
Yeah.
out.
We can make it cohesive. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So, any recommendations this week?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot.
Okay. Love that.
My first one, my first one is The Emperor's New School, the show.
Yes.
Please watch it. It's great. Love it. I don't think who's the guy who voices Cusco in this movie?
In this movie, David
Yeah,
Spade.
yeah. I don't think he
He
voices
does not.
Cusco in
I
the
don't think
show,
so.
but still a good show. I don't think John Goodman voices Pacha either.
Mm-mm.
Either way, it's fine. It's still a good show. Please watch it. I think it's on Disney Plus. I think.
I think so. I
I
think
think.
you're right.
I think it is. Really good show. My second one is Beyonce's Renaissance album, of course.
Knew that was coming.
Of course. Here are the top songs, which is pretty much the entire album.
Okay.
We have Cuff It, Cozy, Church Girl,
Church Girl,
Plastic Off the Couch / Virgo's Groove. You have to listen to them together.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't make the rules, but you have to. Move and Summer Renaissance. Best song. Oh, and America Has a Problem. But that's pretty much the entire album. So
just listen to the album.
Just listen to the album. That's why I made the album the recommendation.
Yes.
So yeah, great. I've been listening to it literally every day.
Let's go.
It's been out for almost 2 weeks, and I've been listening to it every single day. And it's not like I go in trying to listen to the entire album. I'll just want to listen to one of the songs, and I'll just keep the album running.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I'm like, oh, energy is coming on. I can't turn this off. And so I just go through the entire album. But yeah, please listen to it. Great. Beyonce is back. And when the tour comes, I will be there.
Yes, you will.
I will be there. That's all I have to say. Last one is Pretty Little Liars Original Sin on HBO Max, which we just learned today that HBO Max is not going to be a thing anymore.
Bye, HBO
Max. So hopefully they don't cancel this show.
They probably are.
Hopefully they just move it. Hopefully they just move it to whatever streaming service they're creating.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that is.
Because this is actually really good. I actually like this show. So please don't cancel it.
Please, you're doing one thing correct.
I'll trade this show for Euphoria. I will. I'll trade it for Euphoria. We can get rid of Euphoria. I don't care.
Really?
Zendaya has enough Emmys. Just get rid of Euphoria. I want Pretty Little Liars.
That is fair.
Please and thank you. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. So for me, I've got 2 songs. The first is Do I Do by Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, okay.
It came on a playlist that I was listening on, and like I loved that song in high school, and it's just like it's such a bop. I love that. And my second song is Tori Kelly's Don't You Worry About a Thing from Sing.
Oh, buddy. I love that. I love that
She
cover.
bodied that song.
Amazing. That's her song
Yeah,
now. Sorry.
yeah.
Just like how I Will Always Love You is Whitney Houston's song
Right.
now.
Right.
Don't You Worry About a Thing is Tori
Yeah.
Kelly's song now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She just came out swinging with "Don't You Worry About a Thing," and
She,
you know,
yeah,
I love that.
she bodied
Yeah,
that
she
song.
so did. Like, I honestly can't get over it. Like, and it's part of an animal singing movie. Like, she did
Yeah,
not have to go that hard, but I'm so glad that she did.
she didn't. She really didn't. But you know what? I'm very happy.
Same.
Very happy. 10 out of 10. Applaud. Can you get a can you get a Grammy for a cover of a song cuz she deserves one.
Yeah, right. Honestly, she put her everything in
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Thank you, Tori.
Yeah. She was like my character story sucks, so I'm going to sing the hell out of the song.
She's like, I'm gonna make sure that people never forget that I was in this movie.
I will yeah. Was my character story better in the second movie? No, it may have been worse.
I
So
haven't seen the second one yet,
let me
so
just it's on Netflix.
yeah, I'll watch
It's
it.
okay.
Mm,
It's okay.
okay.
But yeah. Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. Please. I like second this recommendation. Please listen to Don't You Worry About a Thing by Tori
Yeah,
Kelly.
it's life changing.
It is.
It could wake me from a coma.
But that's it for oh yes.
That
But that's it.
is.
Thank you so much for
Thank
listening.
you.
Um wow, we've been recording for a long time. We can like see there's like a counter now.
Yeah, we can
So I
actually
can
see
see how long
how
we've
long we've
been
been doing
recording.
this.
Wow. We talk a lot. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SYTYI Podcast. Don't forget to send us your movie stories or your movie requests at our email, sytyipodcast@gmail.com. If you worked on the original version of this movie, can you leak it? I kind of want to see it.
Yeah. Whatever 50% of
I
it was
got.
done, can we see it? Is it possible?
I just want to see it. Yeah, let me know. I really want to see. Don't forget to share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're everywhere.
And don't forget to rate. We're everywhere. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Thank you.
Also, we're now in 2 states of emergency, so now we have to fight off both COVID and monkeypox. So please wear your mask. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wash your hands.
Yes.
Sanitize everything.
Please.
Sanitize everything. I'm gonna start carrying around wipes with me everywhere. It's getting that real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a plane soon.
Oh, yeah.
Pray for me. Pray for me. I'm gonna be on a plane in 2 weeks if we're not already all sick by then.
I hope not. What the heck?
Jeez. Yeah, so also wash your hands and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.